Welcome to What is Next? What is Next is a very educative program on GBC, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana. What is Next is a program that is asking questions about contemporary challenges confronting us as a nation. But in the process, we get closer to people we consider to be people of accumulated wisdom. And I get closer to them and I humbly ask them to help us find relevant answers to such challenges. Now, today we are reflecting on the subject, how traditional leaders can facilitate human resource development. We are reflecting on this subject, having in mind the Akan adage that says that, "Unni penny a day." But it's not enough to have people with accumulated wisdom, but we must also be a nation that is willing to learn from people who have accumulated wisdom. And today, just by grace, I have a man of many parts to help us answer that question, how traditional leaders can facilitate human resource development. And a man to help us do that is Nana Kwame Akuoko Sarpong, the Omanhene of Agogo traditional area. Nana, welcome to What is Next.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are
Opuni-Frimpong for inviting me to this program.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for welcoming us. You have made a very profound statement that a nation can never be greater than its people. But we are a nation that sings, "God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong." Help my viewers to understand how Ghana must make its people greater and stronger.
It simply means that before you can make a nation great, you must build the capacity of its people. Building the capacity of its people will mean that you must educate the people. You must ensure and to provide the health of its people. When you have educated the people, when you have provided for the health of the people, then you build the capacity of the people. When the people are healthy, when they are well educated, then you build strong people. When they are well educated, culturally educated, when they become patriotic, and they are prepared to work for the nation, to move the nation forward, then you make a great nation. That is what I meant, that a nation can never be greater than its people.
The late former President J.J. Rawlings extended electricity beyond Sunyani to the northern part of Ghana. President J. Akufo implemented the school feeding program and the National Health Insurance Scheme. And the current president, whose father you just mentioned, Nana Akufo-Addo, has embarked on free senior high school policy, which seeks to make both senior and technical education free for all students. Will you consider such initiatives as indicators that the black star is shining?
You want me to come back home?
Yes, sir.
Right. These are some of the policy issues,
yes,
which need to be discussed. And then because they are part of the building of the capacity of the people of the nation. For instance, we must remember that there was a time that we used to send our people to study abroad, to study medicine. Kwame Nkrumah decided in 1963 or thereabout and said, no, we cannot continue to send our children abroad to study medicine. We have reached a stage where we have to train our own medical personnel. So he decided to set up the Ghana Medical School. This is an initiative which we have to recognize. He started building the capacity of our people. Now it has been taken for granted. People have forgotten this. Now we don't send our people to train abroad to study medicine. We are producing some of the best medical personnel in the world from Ghana. Let us take, for instance, Dr. Professor Frimpong. He is a heart surgeon. He was a student at the University of Ghana Medical School before he went to Germany to become a specialist in heart surgery. This is an example of an initiative that we should take. I became a lawyer of some sort, of some prominence. But I did not go to the United States, United Kingdom, to study law. Kwame Nkrumah said, no, we cannot continue to train our lawyers abroad. Let us start from here. First, it started with the law school. That there are some experienced people in the civil service who are experienced enough. So he set up the law school because they needed legal personnel when the Europeans were leaving, because Nkrumah wanted to Africanize the civil service, Africanization policy. So he needed personnel, and he needed lawyers to fill certain positions. So the interim, he set up the law school. And within that relatively short period of 3 years, they trained some lawyers. And then he said, let us establish the law faculty at the University of Ghana. So they started it back in 1958 or 1959. I entered the University of Ghana as a law graduate and a law student. I entered the University of Ghana in 1960 and then completed in 1965 after taking the first degree in 1963, continued to take to 1965. We have some Ghanaian lecturers, including Dr. S.K.B. Asante, who is now at Asokore Uni. Dr. Ufusama was also a lecturer. Mr. J.K. Ajiman was then a legal practitioner. He lectured us in tort. Mr. B.J. Darocha was also a legal practitioner. He was also lecturing us. So people like this taught us law. Within a relatively short time, we produced our own lawyers of prominence, including the present Chief Justice. Now we take it for granted that there was a time that all our lawyers were being trained abroad. Kwame Nkrumah said, no, this cannot happen when we are an independent country. We cannot allow others to make decisions for us. It is time that we took upon ourselves to do something for ourselves. This is the kind of policy which we need to take ourselves. We cannot always wait for others to decide for us. We now don't even think of anybody going to train abroad as lawyers. Kwame Nkrumah decided you have to have a University of Science and Technology to train our own engineers. We are producing some of the best engineers in the world from our own universities. My own son is a pilot. He trained as an aeronautic engineer. He's flying a 747 aircraft. He trained here. So this is an example.
Examples that
Now we need to do.
exactly.
We cannot continue to rely upon others. But there will be times that we may need to take our people to training specialists elsewhere. It does not mean that we abandon altogether the training of our people abroad. There are times that we will have to take our people, let's say, to go to China.
Great.
Because China has a long history of education.
Yes. But Nana, you are not only Omanhene, you are also a lawyer and a politician, a former Secretary of Health, now Minister of Health, Secretary of Internal Affairs, Minister of Interior, now Secretary of Chieftaincy Affairs, and a member of Council of State. How do you see politics then and now?
I love politics for joy. Politics must be seen as service to the people. Harry Truman said, it is only a crook who goes into politics to make money. That was a major statement made by Harry Truman, a former president of the United States of America. He said, it is only a crook who goes into politics to make money. So our politicians should know that when you go into politics, you are going to provide service and not to make money. It must be service. Harry Truman said this. It is only crooks. It's only when you are crook that you go into politics to make money. But it doesn't mean that when you go into politics, you are going to eat grass. Are you getting me?
Yeah, Dada.
It doesn't mean that when you go into politics, you are going to eat grass, that you are going to not make money. Our elders say that Abani Juma, you did it. Because there are several pegs. As a politician, what you get when you are a politician? But we are not supposed to chop inside. Are you getting me? That's the difference. You get glory by being in politics. It will be Agogohine. When you are an Agogohine, the gate opens for you. You get several advantages. When you say, oh, I'm the heir of Ago, the doors open for you. So you have glory. But you are not supposed to chop in Ghanaian English, to chop inside. That is what I Truman said. It is only crooks and crooks who goes in politics to make money. But you don't go in there to eat grass. I will end that.
That's you. But Nana, Ghana set a historic mission for
Itself.
Africa when President Kwame Nkrumah declared at independence that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of the Africa continent. Can that mission be realized considering our current challenges, economic, social, politics?
That was a major statement that was made by a man with a vision. If you look at the circumstances at the time in which he made that statement, it meant that the man had a vision. That was 1957. In 1957, I was there in my last year in Nkrumah Academy, and I was at the Okuro grounds when that statement was made. If you look back, at that time when that statement was made, if you look back and realize that within relatively short period, Africa is politically free. It really meant that the man had a vision, because Ghana, even although as it appeared that the research had been made, but to be done quick. Nobody even had the slightest idea. At that time, it was go caucus. That the idea of being named as Ghana will catch the international attention. But with the unveiling of the Black Star, suddenly Ghana became the center of attention to the world. That's one nation on the west coast of Africa. Strategically, it was not a big thing to see. But within that short period, it changed the world balance. Because Kwame Nkrumah made the black man feel great. That credit must be given to him. There is no doubt about it. Whatever political color. I would say that if Nkrumah himself had not soon after put himself on the effigy on the corner coin and had that time to pass, ultimately this country would have conferred that title of as the founder of the nation on him. But he was too quick to do that, because he has seen the initiative from those who invited him to do the job. And they were still alive. Dr. J.B. Duncan, who made the research with the name of Ghana, was alive.
Yeah.
Mr. Edward Akufo-Addo was alive. They were all the people who started the movement together. Suddenly, he sees the initiative from them. They were all human beings. You see, now, Akufo-Addo's son is the president of Ghana, by twist of fortune. And Mr. Akufo-Addo later became the president of this nation. That is a fact of history. They are human beings.
Yeah.
So when they are not trying to rewrite the history
of Ghana. Viewers, this is what is next. And I'm in conversation with Nana Kwame Akuoko Sarpong.
I am not doing any politics.
Nana, I know.
Because I'm not an Nkrumah.
The Omahine of Agogo traditional area. And we are reflecting on the subject, traditional leaders and human resource development. Nana, there are Ghanaian young people who are aware of the stories and achievements of indigenous industrialists like Dr. Mrs. Esther Oklu, Mr. Apia Menka, Nana Usua Ferry, Samuel Moto Ben, Tony Otinjesi, and many more. But they have seated fear within the current system that it is not possible. Are they right, in their thinking that the Ghana we have today may not be able to produce more Esther Oklus and Apia Menkes?
It comes, and it's coming. The truth of the matter is that industrialization has taken place in this country, and it's taken place. The Ghanaians, as you know, are looking for too much too soon.
Too much?
Too soon.
Okay.
When we invest in education, the result comes slowly. I have passed through the stages. If I look back to look at what has happened between 1957 and 2021, a lot has changed, but people do not see it. A lot has changed. When I attended I was enrolled in Accra Academy in 1954. Accra was virtually a village. You couldn't have far more than about 100,000 people in Accra. I was a day student, and I was then commuting between Adabraka and Jamestown, where Accra Academy was. Accra Academy was located in Jamestown. It moved to the 8% site in around 1960. So electricity was only limited just near Makola, where Parliament House was called Polo Grounds. Mm-hmm. Near it was what we used to be called the European Club. So there used to also be almost an apartheid society in this country. It was only after independence that the European Club was abolished. If you see the changes which have taken place between now and then, you will see that there has been a real revolution in our lives. The industrialists are coming. Within the last 50 years or 60 years, there have been tremendous changes in this country. But if somebody was born about 20 or 30 years ago, he would not have seen what Accra was. Not quite long ago, we had Accra Rural. We had Accra Rural constituencies. All the Accra Rural constituencies have now been taken over by buildings. So we don't have Accra Rural now. When I built my house here in 1975, this place was completely rural. This place used to be called Accra Airport Residential Area. It has now been virtually is not a commercial area. It is not no more the airport residential area that we knew. More and more it's becoming a commercial area. Mm. So we are building our entrepreneurs. We don't see them. When they are coming, it is imperceptible. But they are coming as you go along. With education and with health, we are producing the men. We are producing the engineers. We are producing the industrialists. But in those days, they were far and few between. That is why they became so prominent. There were few lawyers. Now we are getting so many lawyers. So we don't see them. In those days, the lawyers and the few doctors were the most prominent people. Now there are so many doctors because we are producing them in numbers. So we don't see that there have been a revolution in the production of lawyers. We don't see that there are revolution in the production of doctors. We now have even private medical schools. We are making revolution in several areas of our lives, but we don't see them. There were times that we wouldn't have seen lawyers becoming prominent chiefs. There were times we never have seen prominent doctors becoming chiefs. But now there are prominent lawyers, there are prominent doctors, there are prominent lawyers, international lawyers, like Dr. A.K.B. Asante, Omahine of Asokore, Nana Otuo-Siribor, an engineer who is the chairman of the Council of State, as the Omahine of Jabi. That's it, Otuo-Siribor, a statistician, an engineer, Omahine of. So there is a revolution at the front of the chieftaincy front. No. So these things are taking place, but we don't see them.
And now that you are mentioning prominent professionals now entering into, who are already even in the chieftaincy institution, the Asantehene has said on several occasions that the contemporary enemies of traditional leaders are no more other traditional kingdoms, but poverty, employment. These are diseases. These are the enemies that Nananum must fight. Our traditional leaders were positioned to make investment in human resource development.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you have people like this leading their people, they are no more leading them into wars or protecting their lands, but they are leading them to fight poverty, because being a chief straddles across several areas. They are leading their people in education, they are leading their people in health, they are leading to fight on the health front. Let me take my case for instance. I have led my people in education. For instance, I helped to establish university, President University College, to be extended to Akuoko. So that's one of the examples. So being a chief strategist across several area fronts, we are no more leading our people to fight tribal wars. We are leading our people to fight poverty. What we are doing, Chief, is no more different what an MP should do at the local level or at the constituency level. Our functions are no more different than what the member of parliament should do. We are doing the same thing. The chiefs are not fighting for political power or fighting against political leaders. We are doing the same things as they are doing. We are part of the government structures. So we are helping the government to rule the people. We are part of the structures of government. So they shouldn't see chiefs are fighting political power against them. But that we are part of the structures of the government. That is what we are doing. Unfortunately, the chiefs do not have the means. They do not have the budget to help this, except that the ability to lobby. to get projects in their area. But the expectations from the people is really the problem. While the chiefs, the people who want our chiefs to do the same things as the politicians, the chiefs are limited by the funding process because they are limited by the funding. At least the MPs can tap into the common fund, but the chiefs haven't got that. What they can do is lobby the NGOs or they lobby their friends to get projects in their area or help in the education process. It's a long and big struggle. So what happens is that the chiefs are helping the government to go in conflict, especially in conflict resolution. I think the greater part of the function of the chief is conflict resolution. Most of the conflicts are settled at the local level. Although the chief action provides the chiefs for powers to settle conflicts, it's only limited to matters affecting conflict with the chiefs. But still, the chiefs settle matters of the communal matters affecting chiefs, although they do not have judicial powers as such. But conflict resolution is a big part of what we do. But the functions the chief straddles across several areas of our national life. So he's expected to do as much as a member of parliament should do. The only limiting factor is that the chief cannot tap into government budget to do what they are expected to do. That is the only limiting factor.
This is what is next on GTV, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana. And I'm in conversation with Nana Kwame Akuoko Sarpong, and he is helping us unravel some areas that our traditional leaders can help invest in human resource development. He is saying that the enemies Nananom are fighting today, like Otunfo has said, are no more fighting for other people's land, but fighting for education, fighting against poverty, fighting unemployment. But Nana, because of what you have said so far, there's a real gap between the rich and the poor. And how can Nananom help close the gap and give our young people hope that Ghanaian youth must have hope in this country?
Well, the real point, this observation is a policy issue. Policy issue. The policy issue of what to do to provide employment. That has to do with agriculture. This country can make it through the development of agriculture. Industrialization in this country is start with agriculture. When we talk of industrialization, it doesn't necessarily mean mechanical industrialization. Agricultural revolution will come along with mechanical industrialization. This country can make it through agriculture. New Zealand is an industrialized country, but it is an agricultural country. Australia is an industrialized country, but it is an industrialized country. Indeed, Canada is an agricultural country, but it is an industrial country. China is an agricultural country, but it is now the biggest industrial country in the world. Japan had no choice but become a mechanized industrial country because it is all mountainous. They have no land. So they were forced to become a mechanized industrial country. They have no land apart from the sea. So they were compared to become mechanized industrial country. China is an agricultural industrial country, and it came along with engineering. Now the Chinese are producing engineers at the rate at which is uncontrollable. I may like to tell you that China has been subjected to the rule of others. France, Germany, Britain, and others were subjecting China as their areas of influence. But through the leadership of one person.
Nana, your area, your traditional area, Agogo, is noted of massive educational programs and infrastructures. You have nurses training college, you have college of education,
university.
You have secondary school, universities. In fact, I'm honored to let you know that I had my secondary education in your area, Agogo, Collins Secondary Commercial School for my O-level. So you have more of such. But are you enthused about the current educational programs of this government and its ministers? Is there anything that excites you?
At least the free HS has been a great program that has been very good for this country. And the driving force behind this program has been the Minister of Education. And let me say that that gentleman had done a good job, both as Deputy Minister of Education and Minister of Education. That man must be given a special pat on the back. He's doing well. The only thing I would like to mention for emphasis is while promoting education at that level, we must also promote cultural education to make our people very patriotic. We need to emphasize and promote cultural education. Secondly, we must also encourage the training of technical people. Let us take, for instance, the training of welders. Nkrumah started with dry dock and shipyard. Nkrumah's initial program was Ghana to build ships, ocean-going ships. What does it involve? All that is involved is welders. Ghana now has oil. We have gas. All we need is oxygen and welders. You can employ more than 100,000 people every year by starting the shipping industry. All that we need to do is start the training of welders. All we need to do, we have now discovered iron ore deposit in the north. The Upon Manso iron ore deposits are still waiting to be tapped. If we don't have the effort, we can go to India, bring them in to afford the iron ore mines, which we have. Then Ghana can become an iron country, iron and sea country. You can use that to build our railways. You cannot continue to rely on roads for our development. We must be far-sighted. What are we waiting for? Do you want to wait for somebody to come and tell us that we cannot continue to rely on roads? You cannot develop without a railway system. Nana Akufo-Addo started the railway system arrangement. Now we don't hear about it again. I know that Peter Amewu is a great and enthusiastic worker. He must be praised. Why don't we encourage him? What happened to the Buankra? What happened? It was supposed to be an Indian project. Have we abandoned it? So that the railway can carry goods to Buankra and then onward to Mali and to Ouagadougou. Have we abandoned that? Why can't you explore the iron ore resources that we have to build the railway? Bring the Indians or bring the Chinese. They are prepared. Somebody must think beyond the box. Why are you not doing this? Let the Indians come and explore the iron ore. We have gas. This Upon Manso project was dreamed of by Kutu Champon. But at that time, we didn't have coal to mine it, to process them. Now we have oil, we have gas. So what are we waiting for? Why can become? I heard an Akuoko say that he has set up iron ore mining corporation. You don't hear about it again. Is President Akuoko tired? Is he tired now?
But Dana, there's the impression out there that some Nananom, some frustrate development, chieftaincy, conflicts. Some are even being accused of being involved in galamsey. And moving into the future, how should Nananom also make sure that some of this public impression have been reduced so that the respect, the love we have for Nananom will be sustained?
The point about this is, the point is what I have raised. The chieftaincy institution must be seen as part of the structures of the government. Right now, you see, it has been defined in the Constitution that the chieftaincy institution is guaranteed. If you guarantee an institution, it's a big statement. If you guarantee an institution in the Constitution, you must provide it with functions. If you provide it with functions and define it as part of the institutional arrangement of the government, then you will know that you are defining the role of the institution so that they will know what play to play. Right now, a chief does not know what role he should play in the institutional system of the government. He doesn't know what role to play. At the local government level, it is said in the Constitution that 30% of the representation should be given to be appointed with consultation with the chiefs, but the consultation does not even take place. So even at the local level, the chief has no part to play. So powers have been taken to the district assembly. The constitution bars chief from doing active politics. So if you bar the chiefs, these are prominent people who have a role to play in the society. If you consign them away from playing any serious role in the society, then if he becomes a chief, what role does you want him to play in the institutional arrangements? You haven't defined it. And yet the people expect him to do something for them. And without a budget. So what role do you want him to play? If the person has no role to play, water has found its own level.
Nana, earlier on you mentioned that when you came to Accra Academy, part of Accra, if you were considered rural Accra, the story has changed. You had hope in Ghana. You became a lawyer, a politician, a traditional leader. I just want you to encourage Ghanaian youth. Even earlier on, you said that the Ghana we have today is far better than the Ghana you saw. But there are some of our young people who feel that they can't make it in Ghana and they feel weak and helpless. Will you encourage Ghanaian youth?
What I would say is that the opportunities are limitless.
The opportunities are limitless.
They still should have hope. Because right now, the opportunities that were available to us were so limited. But so many people made it. I made it. I made sure that I have made it the way I wanted. But I think so far, I feel that somehow I have come that far from a situation where so many people could not make it. Right now, they have more opportunities than we had in our time. Reverend Minister, you would agree that in your time, Akuoko is not what you saw, but you made it. Now they have better opportunities in the school that you knew. They have better opportunities than at your time. So if now they have these opportunities, why should they despair? They should have hope. I have hope in this country. Indeed, the neighboring countries are flocking to Ghana now because they see Ghana as a place of opportunities. If you go to Kumasi, the people from Niger are maybe Nigerians. Most of them are also coming here for education because they don't have the opportunities which we have. I have been to Niger, and it's one of the poorer countries in the sub-region. And they are coming here to learn. So if you have these opportunities, there's no way you don't have to have hope. So I would encourage the young ones to take advantage of these advantages and make themselves great. I have hope. They shouldn't. There's no reason why they should not hope for the best. The sky should be the limit.
Viewers, this is what is next. Nana, on behalf of my viewers, we are so grateful. I've been in conversation with Nana Kwame Sarpong, the Omahine of Agogo traditional area. He is a lawyer by profession. He is a politician, a traditional leader. We have been reflecting on the subject, traditional leaders and human resource development. And he is saying that he had hope when he was young man studying Accra Academy, and he still had hope in Ghana and encouraging Ghanaian youth. You must have hope in Ghana because the opportunities for us, for our young people today, according to Nana Kwame Sarpong, are limitless. Thank you for spending time with us. We will come your way same time next week, God willing. But till then, may God bless our homeland Ghana and make this dear nation of ours great and strong. Remember, COVID is still with us. Please stay safe. Thank you. And Anna, thank you.